All right, guys, so I know you all been waiting for this video to know why I took off the tune on my Camaro SS. So here it goes. I'm going to try to make this as short as possible. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, and I want to be as fair as possible with this video. This video is essentially a review of the previous tuner on my car, okay? Now, most of you know this already, but if you guys don't know, I got my car tuned with TuneItFast. Now, guys, I'm gonna break this video down into 3 parts, okay? And the 3 parts are, the things I liked or loved about the tune, what I disliked about the tune, and lastly, if you stick to the end of the video, I'm going to tell you guys whether I would still recommend TuneItFast if you want to go get your car tuned there or not. All right, guys, so the first thing I really liked about this tune, okay, is that the car sounded way more aggressive. Okay, and especially with the pops and the crackles, especially when you let go of the throttle, man. That was one thing I made sure to get out of the tune, and he did that for me. All right. The other thing, and I'm sorry if I'm looking away and back because I had to write down all this, man. But the second thing I liked about the tune is that the car felt like a lot more power was being delivered to the wheels. I could really feel it mostly off the line or from a dig, okay? And how I could tell is with the factory tune, the wheels would spin if I floored from a dig, but it was a lot more controllable, okay? With the tune, I had to be careful because that thing would spin way more, and a lot more control was needed. You had to learn, I basically had to learn the car over, but I did like the car was more aggressive off the line, okay? I like that when I had a trouble code come up, sometimes with tunes, the trouble code could come up, and fortunately, the trouble codes that came up they weren't anything serious. It was just stuff like emissions, because the tune was counting for that. So like, let's say if I took off the caps or something, he told me that the tune was already counting for that, right? So if I had any trouble codes and I wanted reassurance, I would send him a picture or something, and he would reassure me that, hey, this is nothing serious, but I could tune it out for you, so the code doesn't come up, but it was nothing serious, right? So the tuner were very responsive to messages. That was cool, right? Now let's move on to the dislikes, right? So I mentioned, being or the tuner being very responsive with messages, okay? But regardless of being responsive to the messages, I never got a chance to actually come in and fix the problems I had with the tune. The 2 problems I had with the tune, okay? The first one is on a cold start, okay? The car sounded like it was dying. Normally, it would just be revving and steady revving, okay, while the car warms up, and then after the car is warmed up, it'll go down. With the tune, what was happening is that the RPMs would be like up and down, and you would hear the car struggling. And the problem number 2, guys, is that the shifts on the car were very jerky, in an unusual way. So even on the light acceleration, right? It was like the car was jumpy, right? So, I mean, I expected the car to feel a little more aggressive, but it just didn't feel right. Now, the first problem, okay, with the idle, I did present that to my tuner. He acknowledged, what it was right away and how to fix it, but the problem was I never actually got to fix it, and I'll tell you guys why in a second. And because of that, I never even told him about problem number 2, because just problem number 1 never had a chance to get fixed. So why did I never get a chance to fix the problems? Okay, so even if the tuner was responsive, the actual time or making an actual time to fix the problems never happened. Okay, it was basically a cycle of, I present the problem, you would say, let me check my schedule, let me get back to you. I would wait for that time that he said he would get back to me, or when he was going to check his schedule. So let's say he said, let me check my schedule this week, or let me check my schedule next week. I would wait till that week or the next week passes and no response. So I'm like, okay, let me ask again, after the time passes. Yeah, hey bro, do you have time? Can we schedule a time to fix this? Yep, sorry, I've been busy. Let me check my schedule, or let me check with whoever, and I'll get back to you. Same thing again. The time passes, never happened, no response. Third time again, and it was just that cycle going on and on. So eventually I said, all right, you know what? He's obviously too busy, which is, whatever. So I'm going to now ask for my factory tune back, which is the actual file, because I'm like, okay, if you don't have time to fix the problem, if something gets worse, or now I feel like I want to take it somewhere else, I want to have my factory tune file back. Okay, and that was a problem to get to at first, because it was the same thing where I had to keep asking and asking, and I'm not going to show the messages and all that. I don't think I need to go that far, but I would keep asking for that until I just keep pushing and pushing, and he was busy then, busy the next time, and I just had to keep reminding him until finally I finally got my tune file back. So once I got my file back, that was it. I took it, and eventually I went to another tuner. I returned the car to factory with that other tuner, and pretty much the both problems are gone. And I especially wanted to bring it back to factory so I could confirm 100% that it was the previous custom tune that made the problems on the car. Now guys, regardless of these problems, that really isn't what got to me. What I was kind of mad about was the fact that, being put off. Like, mistakes happen. The guy is very knowledgeable, okay? The guy has built several, cars himself. He's not new to the game, okay? So I don't want anybody to think that I'm, saying he's like bad or inexperienced or anything. No, he's not like that. And, I understand like problems come up. Like, everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes, but I have a problem with, if a mistake is made, I need it fixed. I don't want it avoided or put off. Okay, that's my problem. Okay, so with that being said, I told you guys that the third part of this video was whether I would still recommend TuneItFast to, if someone else wants their car tuned. So yes and no. Okay, so yes, as long as he is going to be there for you. If you have a problem, just make sure the tuner, I'm not just talking about the tuner I'm reviewing right now. I'm talking about like anywhere you go to fix your car. As long as they keep their promise to be there for you, and actually fix your problems, instead of putting it off, great. That's a good thing. So, with my tuner, that's the only problem I had. All right. So other than that, man, I can't say anything else. I can't say anything else bad, man. That was my only thing. I don't have any personal issues with TuneItFast. I just did not like that business side of it towards me. I don't know about other people's experience, but this was the experience I had, and I had to share it with you guys. I keep it real, I keep it transparent, and that's what went on. So yeah, guys, that is my review of my experience with TuneItFast and why I removed the tune on my car. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. If you all have any questions, man, feel free to ask in the comment section, or you can DM me, whatever. But that's it. So stay tuned. I'll let you guys know what's going on in the car now, because I am going to get another custom tune on the car. I did find another tuner, and we're gonna see what happens from there, man. But thank you guys for watching, man. Peace. Let's go.